Zadondani, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. You may notice that I am wearing a mask in this video. Now, I am not going to be wearing this mask throughout the entire video, but I have to at least bring it up. If you are actually going to be forced to go to school, please wear a mask. It doesn't have to be the best mask in the world. It can be a bandana, it can be actually something that you buy, it can be one of those cheapo throw it away afterward masks. But please wear a mask and make sure to actually still keep the 6 feet apart rules. I know that some schools are going to be forced to actually bring their students back, and it's going to be a stupid situation. And I'm sorry that that some of you guys are going to be put into it. And to parents who are seeing this situation unfold, please, if you have the chance, actually send your kids into a homeschooling program. There are tons of programs, and I'm going to be talking about homeschooling a lot in this video. I was homeschooled for a good majority of my life, and I can actually help you guys to actually learn different things about the different systems, and how they can actually help you when going into this situation. Now, obviously, now is kind of a late time to actually decide, oh, I'm going to be doing homeschooling. But if you still do have the chance to actually change your mind, seriously, go into a homeschooling program. Lots of different places have homeschooling programs. There are homeschooling programs that are public schools that still teach the same curriculum as the public schools, and there are a ton of Christian homeschooling systems. It's honestly insane how many there are. I, for one, have actually done 3 of those with Abeka Academy, I forget the second one, and Bob Jones University. These 3 are honestly a fantastic system, especially Bob Jones University. If you are going to be going into homeschooling, I honestly do suggest checking one of those out, and I don't remember what the second one is. I'm sorry, but it was still good. It was just something that I didn't do as often. But Abeka and Bob Jones University, if you are a Christian and you're trying to figure out a good homeschooling program, those 2 are probably the best ones that you're going to find. Now, obviously, if you are going to be homeschooling, a few things that you're going to notice right off the bat. 1, homeschooling is very different from actually going to school. For one thing, school is going to be a very different ballgame. And you're going to notice this even if you are someone who is just doing the Zoom stuff. You're going to notice that when you're doing this stuff, it is going to be a lot faster than you're used to. For one thing, teachers can't necessarily have you be doing specific things as much. A lot of this stuff is going to be going at your pace rather than the school's pace. And one of the things that you're going to notice about that is that oftentimes you will be going faster than the school system does, because of the fact that they actually have to slow it down often to actually help out the slower students. And for people who are really good at a subject, they, even though they could actually boost through this stuff at extreme speeds, they're being forced to slow down. One of the biggest examples of this is for me, with math. Honestly, I could probably have finished a lot of my freshman and sophomore year of high school probably within the first week when I was going to actual high school. So be aware of that things are going to go very fast for certain subjects, and other subjects are going to slow down quite significantly because of the fact that you're going to have to take your own time to do these things. Also, make sure that you set a schedule. If you are going to be doing homeschooling, it's going to need a schedule. Scheduling is a complicated situation, but if you have a specific system that's already set up, then honestly, using that system is a fantastic way to start off and then work off of that to make it better, more suited for your design. Such as maybe, I don't know, you have to do a certain number of things in a day. Um, Set aside the amount of time that you need for each of those things to actually get them done. Still set out some time for free time or to do some de- self-development. Schools will not develop you for everything that you want to learn, plain and simple. So I honestly do suggest actually picking up a few extra things um, before actually going into this school year. The first thing is that if you are interested in games at all, and whether it be playing video games, watching other people play video games, or actually making video games, this is a big thing. Actually pick up RPG Maker, one of the different versions, whether it be MV, MZ, any of the previous versions. Probably MZ is probably the best from what I've heard, but I don't know because I haven't actually used it. But I've used MV, so I honestly do suggest checking that out and just messing around with it, because it honestly does help you to learn a lot of the systems if you are thinking of ever going into video game design, or even if you're just planning on going into a computer system. Uh, it teaches you a little bit of coding, and if you're going to actually start going into this stuff, then you're actually going to be finding out a ton about this stuff just by using this system. So if you're interested in video games, I honestly do suggest getting an RPG Maker. Second, books. There are a ton of really good books that are honestly going to help you out a ton. The school system will probably want you to read some books anyways. And even though you won't actually be able to get any specific books most of the time, because of the fact that schools usually would be the ones who give you the books, since they don't actually have that opportunity anymore, I still suggest picking up some specific books for your different programs. If you're interested in history or culture, or even just books in general, then I honestly suggest picking up Ascendance of a Bookworm, which I know it's not here, but I've talked about it in a ton of videos. It's a fantastic book that really does go into the idea of both culture as well as history of the world. So if you're interested in that stuff, then please check that out. There's a lot of other books that are also like that are a lot of fun. So if you have any interest, check those out. Also check out a few different YouTube channels, because a lot of them actually have really good systems for learning. So be aware of that. The next thing, if you are going to be homeschooling, make sure that you still socialize. Now, obviously, you can't actually go out in public for the most part. Now, obviously, there are certain things that you can do to actually go out in public. Obviously, the first one, wear a mask. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Wear your frickin' masks. And second, make sure to stay 6 feet apart, because that is extremely important. And of course, wash your hands. 30 seconds. There's been a lot of videos to actually tell you all of the benefits of all these things. Please, for the love of God, actually do these things. Period. Um, but the reason that you need to socialize is because of the fact that not socializing is actually very harmful to your brain. Take it from someone who was homeschooled for many years and was doing this basically by himself. I needed socialization. That's one of the biggest reasons why I went into an actual high school for my high school years, because of the fact that I'd basically been doing everything by myself for the past, like, I don't even remember anymore, several years. Like, I think third grade through whatever the frickin' school grade is. I honestly don't remember, because it was a lot. So I think it was like 6 years, but be aware of that you're going to want to socialize, because otherwise it's going to cause you to not be able to socialize later, and it's going to be weird. So do video chats. Honestly, if you want to just talk to people online and you want to make a YouTube channel, now is probably a good time, because yeah, there's going to be a lot of people making videos, but there's also going to be a lot of people who are just losing interest in it, because it's just so much work to do to make videos. And since you're not since a lot of people aren't making money, now is actually a really good time to actually start making a YouTube channel. So, yeah, be aware of that. um, but talking to people is actually extremely helpful in all sorts of situations and will really help you in the real world. So make sure that you still socialize, be it video chats, just calling on the phone, texting, emailing, Zoom meetings, or actually going out in public, but make sure to wear your mask. Plain and simple, wear your freaking mask. Um, Also, if you are going to be going into homeschooling systems, there are a ton of really good ones. And some of them are actually have like the public school systems. Others have actual Christian systems that are probably better for a lot of people. Um, because one of the biggest things that is actually important about doing this is because, plain and simple, if you're doing stuff for the public system, then you may never actually find out what Christians actually believe on how the world came to be, because everyone freaking wants to tell you, no, evolution is the only possible way that the universe could have been created, even though everyone freaking knows that there's actually a lot of different beliefs on how it came to be. So I honestly do suggest that even if you're not a Christian, probably you should at least check out some of these systems like Bob Jones University or Becca Academy. Those two are great Christian programs that really developed me to be the person I am today. So, and they honestly have a great system in place, and they're available pretty much everywhere. So if you are interested in them, then I do honestly suggest checking those two out and actually checking out those systems, because like I said, they're actually really good for this whole situation. Um but yeah, obviously, uh make sure that you are actually looking into things that you're actually interested in. I've mentioned schedules, but set aside in your schedule for specific things that you want to actually learn yourself. Plain and simple, a lot of people, when they finish up their schoolwork, be it they're probably going to do their schoolwork and then maybe do their homework. Do your homework. Plain and simple, it is going to be way easier to understand things if you actually do your homework. I know that it's a weird idea to think that homework for homeschooling, but seriously, even though there is actually, it's weird, still do it, because it actually does help you to learn the stuff that you need to learn. And I'm dead serious. Doing homework is a fantastic way to actually pass the time. And make sure that you keep that in your schedule, but also make sure that you put some time in for personal projects. Um, well, for example, for me, I have two big projects that I'm currently working on. Obviously, the video game and Pelora. These two projects I am working around the clock basically to finish these two. So working on those is a fantastic way to actually spend your time, because it's still making your brain work rather than going to mindless television just so that you can. Now, do I suggest that you necessarily don't watch television? No. Still do take some free time to actually watch television, read books that are actually interesting besides the things that you're just doing for your schoolwork. And also the ones that I suggested. Seriously, check out a lot. There's a lot of books that you should check out. But reading books, watching shows, playing video games, still take some time to actually do those things, but don't necessarily let it take control of you. Just rest and let yourself take a break and actually get a chance to play around with these different systems. But don't stop learning. Make sure that you schedule your stuff out, because otherwise it's going to be a chaotic time, and you're going to be playing a video game and then suddenly you're going to realize, oh shoot, I had this huge project that I was working on and now I can't complete it in time. What the fudge am I supposed to do? This is a constant problem that people are constantly dealing with in everyday life. But if you actually schedule your time and make sure that you are doing things the best way that you possibly can, then you will be able to handle it. Hopefully this video has helped some of you guys out, and you'll actually take my words into your head and will actually listen to them. Please, please be listening to what I'm saying here, because I'm only trying to help. But anyways, guys, hopefully this video has helped you out with the whole new situation we're in. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like. Leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. If you have any questions about homeschooling, then please ask them in the comments, because I have actually been doing homeschooling for several years, like I said, and I know a lot about this stuff. So if you actually have questions about it, please leave them down in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. I might even make some extra videos to actually talk about this stuff, because I know that this is a weird situation that we're all in. Of course, like I said, if you have any thoughts or theories, leave them down in the comments as well. Put theory review in your comment if you actually want me to talk about your theory. And of course, if you are new, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. We'll be back to normal videos tomorrow. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I'll see you guys next time. But on.